Picture behind you there of Jack Ruby just having shot Oswald, and you're standing there, and you got to hold him by the belt and everything. Sorry. At the moment he shot, did you have any fear that maybe you were going to be shot next?
There again is a question that don't go through a person's mind. You never think about yourself, but you just react to a situation. And I had a very good example. I had one that shot at me from right here. We went in the door, and he was sitting in a chair, and he come up with a 45. And I imagine it's about 10 inches from my head when he fired, because it burned I got powder burned on the side of my face. Well, people have asked me, well, why didn't you pull your pistol? If I'd have reached back to pull my pistol, it'd take me at least 2 seconds to do that. And he already had that thing pointed at me. He could have shot me 2 times very easily before I got my gun out and started. So what I did was reached over and grabbed him by the hair of the head and jerked him out of that chair, and he fell spread eagle on the floor in front of him. And I stepped on, he still had the gun in his hand, and I stepped on his wrist with my left foot and kicked the pistol out of his hand with my right, and it run up under a television.
So you grabbed him by the hand?
Hair of the head, right?
Oh, hair of the head. I see.
Grabbed the hair of the head and jerked him out of it. And it's all this reaction. And I was able to do that before he could pull the trigger the second time. So if that's any explanation, you just react. You're in this. If you're in the police business for a while, you learn that those reactions just come to you.
Okay.
You don't think about them. I never even thought about being shot, even after it's all over with.
I have one. Oh, I'm sorry.
But one of the things that I've always talked to younger officers about is to never take anything for granted, because even the most minor thing, this deal here that I was just talking about was a search warrant, and you never have any trouble on a search warrant normally.
Sure.
But there it was.
You've been up to the 6th floor museum, I'm sure, many times. In your opinion, from the window that he was at to the target down there, would that have been a difficult shot for someone with his background?
In fact, it's a very simple shot. This is like the sergeant of the Quantico, Virginia training station up there. He run many tests on that rifle, and he said it was a very simple shot. It didn't need a scope on it. You could do it. In fact, he gathered up several people that knew how to handle a rifle, but were not considered expert or anything. And he rigged a deal where that target was moving at the same speed. Well, we know what the car was doing. It's 11 miles an hour, and so he had that going at that speed, and he had people that were not expert with the rifle try to shoot it and rack the back. And he said every one of them hit it at least twice, and most of them hit it 3 times on the move.
Jeez.
So, obvious that they didn't have to be an expert to do it.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of confusion with people when they get to talk about that 8 seconds or whatever it was in the shop. They think, well, you couldn't rack that bolt action back 3 times in that length of second.
You know,
What they forgot about was there's only 2 times, because the first bolt was in the chamber and ready to go. So they shot that one, and then they only had to rack it back twice.
yeah.
A lot of people don't think about that.
And 11 miles an hour, too. I mean, they didn't kick it up until it was too late, probably.
That's right. As soon as Sam, the driver, any other time I can tell you his name, the agent who was driving the car, as soon as he realized what was happening, he speeded up, and the lead cars in front of him was take off and lead him out to the hospital. But,
How does that happen?
anyway, there's a lot of misconception about the ability to shoot that many times. So